You've been waiting for it patiently since last week. It is our weekly Mac tip with the Mac maniac himself, Chris Breen. Today we're looking at the top tips for making Apple's latest OS X release, aka Panther Purr, like a kitten. Welcome.
Thank you.
How you doing today, Chris?
I'm doing well.
Yeah. And I'm excited.
Really?
I've gotten over my whole Mr. Frodo computer crime,
Really?
Lord of the Rings
kind of,
Matrix shtick.
No more of this. There's more separation.
Exactly.
Okay.
Slowly, but at least for the purposes of this segment, latest version of OS X is 10.3?
10.3.
10.3.
Yeah, and in Mac world, a dot release is not like going, Service Pack 1, Service Pack 2.
Right.
This is like
which
going
are just
from
fixing all
ME
the
to
holes.
XP to, this is
Right.
a major upgrade.
And they charge you. They charge like $130.
$130 for it, right?
And they say there's like 130, significant upgrades, like what, $1 per or something.
A dollar per, but some of them are worth $10.
Really?
Yeah.
And you're going to show us.
I'm going to show you one that, the one that's worth the most is just they've optimized the thing.
It's ready.
It's faster.
It's
just the operating system is faster. You put on a slower Mac, it really is responsive now,
really?
and that kind of brings a whole class of Macs that you can start using OS X with.
Really?
Yes, so it's
we
good.
like that.
We do like that.
How do you, is there basically what's the bottom line of a G4 Mac you would run this on?
Well, I'm actually running this on a Thai book here. It's a 400 megahertz machine. Jaguar on this thing was pretty pokey, and this is perfectly serviceable under Panther.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So what else do you have to show for us?
Okay, so kind of the highlights of this thing are the stuff that make people go, ooh. One of them is called Expose, and it's a way, if you're like me...
Sounds kind of nefarious.
It is nefarious. It's like...
Mr. Breen. Sorry.
No, sorry. If you're like me, you end up with just a ton of stuff on your desktop because, I'm a slob.
I have 80 icons on any given day on my desktop.
And open windows and just stuff everywhere, and you can't find it. So Expose allows you to press the F9 key, and huzzah, everything's out of the way.
Oh, this is wonderful. Do that again.
Watch this. Ooh, I'll do it again.
So it's like every application. Can I now mouse between those?
Now you mouse between them. It tells you what's going on here. When you go to Mail, it tells you how many unread messages you have.
So yet another wonderful and convenient addition to OS X that Windows users will never, ever have.
They will never, ever have it. It's very convenient, and you can also assign it. So for the foremost application, just move those windows out of the way. It's very nice. And if you need to get the desktop, everything moves out of the way. Now I can get to the desktop.
Although they are moving Confabulator over to the PC, so you never know.
Is that right?
Yeah. So we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
That's another tip.
That's another tip. That's next week. Yeah.
That's cool, though. And that's called
This is called Expose.
Expose.
And you can assign it to corners of the screen. You can assign it to your mouse, and it's already assigned to the F keys on your
Sounds naughty, but it's terribly useful.
Yes, it is.
Very cool. So we have fast user switching.
This is kind of a tribute to Windows in a way that prior, OS X is a multi-user environment, just like XP and 2000. But you couldn't switch on the Mac OS from one user to the other and maintain the work environment. That's what you can do now under Panther. So I can switch to an active user here. It will ask me for my password.
So basically, if you got 4 children and they leave all their applications and their homework up and running, somebody can log somebody else out without destroying all the stuff they're working on.
Right. Exactly. And also, it's a really good thing for troubleshooting as well. You can create a pure environment that you haven't done anything to, and if something's kind of wonky in your usual account, you switch to this one. That's your troubleshooting account. Everything seems to work there fine. You can troubleshoot the other account and see if there are problems.
In Windows XP, if you want this to work, you need an amazing amount of memory. Obviously, OS X requires begs for at least a half a gigabyte, 512 megabytes.
Right.
Is it the same? The more memory, the smoother the user switching works.
Yeah, although a lot of it is graphics oriented because they use you can't see it on this one because this PowerBook doesn't have enough VRAM in it, but on something with huge graphics potential, you'll actually see this cube turn from one user environment to the other. It's beautiful. It uses Quartz Extreme, and if you have enough VRAM, it works beautifully. This doesn't.
Got it. A new Finder.
Yes, the Finder is optimized, but also they've changed the way the thing looks.
Ooh.
So what they've done is they put all the tools over here on the left side of the window. And if you want to drop something over here, you say, okay, fine, I need this to be a little more convenient. I'll just drop it in here. You click on it.
Oh, very nice.
Everything that's in there is suddenly accessible to you. Plus, you can show it in column view, for example, and then you can see things in a hierarchical form.
Excellent.
It's very easy to get to.
Very
they
nice.
have little tools up here. You want to label things, you can do that now.
I remember those. I remember those from like OS 7.
OS 7, 8, and 9 had it, and then they took it out.
Folders.
And that's helpful when you've got a desktop with like 25 folders on it. Yeah.
Very cool. And there's a new calendar, a new version of iCal?
There's a new version of iCal, and it's notable largely because it doesn't stink.
I didn't think iCal was that bad.
It was kind of bad. It would do things like you'd put an appointment in, and then you'd fly to New York, and suddenly all your appointments are off by 3 hours because even though you changed the time zone.
Never had that problem.
Yeah, it went, huh? What? You mean it's not at 9 o'clock? Oh, it's at noon. Oh, that's a problem. So now
they worked out the whole time of day.
They kind of worked out the time of day thing, and it's very convenient now. I can create.
Suck up to Patrick.
Suck up to Patrick. You're looking fabulous today, by the way.
Well, thank you.
And if I care to do that, I can mail a to-do to myself.
Very good.
Saying, Chris, don't forget to suck up to Patrick when
you
get on the
once
show.
a day should be nicely.
Really? Okay, I'll try to do that once a day. And you can assign events to, or actually open applications to a calendar event. Now, this may not seem like that's such a cool thing, but if you have an Apple script that will fire off some kind of, let's say you're working in Quark or something, you need to take a bunch of Photoshop files, you need to change the resolution and change the file type, dump them into Quark. You can all do that with AppleScript. Well, you can create an event here that will fire that off at 2 in the morning.
So basically, you can schedule your AppleScript events in iCal and run those.
Right.
And you can email them to yourself, too.
And you can email them to yourself as well, right?
How cool is that?
Yeah, it's very cool. You change status, repeating functions, attendees. You can mail appointments to people. So it's really starting to work right now.
So you're pro Panther. You're
I like
big on the
Panther a
Panther
lot.
upgrade?
I'm big on the Panther upgrade. Yes, it's $129, but there's $129 worth of value in it.
And you know what? You also said if you're running an older machine, it'll run faster.
It will.
We like that.
We do like that.
That's a good thing. Chris, great stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, if you missed any of Chris's tips today, and I'm sad for you if you did, never fear. We've got them available on our website. Just click on over to techtv.com/call for help.